The gravel crunched under my boots like brittle bones as I stared at the empty loading dock, the summer heat mirage warping the horizon into a cruel joke. My phone buzzed once, Karen's name flashing like a warning flare, before her voice sliced through the line. "Joshua Hale, your queer little book order? Cancelled. Don't you dare think this town's got room for your filth." The receiver clattered to the ground, and in that instant, the fragile empire I'd rebuilt from ashes crumbled, leaving me hollow under the relentless Montana sky. I didn't hear the truck pull up behind me, didn't register the shadow until strong hands gripped my shoulders, steadying the storm raging inside. "Josh? Jesus. Man, what the hell happened?" Tyler's voice, deep, laced with that familiar drawl, cut through the haze, his touch the only anchor in the freefall. But as I turned, meeting those hazel eyes I'd dreamed of for a decade, I realized the real betrayal was just beginning. The boy I'd loved in secret was now the deputy sworn to protect this town, and his mother's war on me might tear us apart before we even had a chance. The Bitterroot Valley stretched out like a faded postcard, all jagged peaks and endless fields of alfalfa swaying under the big sky. I come back to Willow Creek 2 years ago, chasing ghosts and a half-baked dream of normalcy. Normalcy for a guy like me meant owning the open page, a hole-in-the-wall bookstore squeezed between the feed store and the diner on Main Street. It wasn't much, just shelves crammed with dog-eared paperbacks, a coffee urn that gurgled like an old man, and a rainbow flag fluttering defiantly in the plate glass window. But it was mine. Or it had been, until Karen Whitaker decided to play God. Karen ran the local co-op, a squat brick building that supplied everything from tractor parts to the books I ordered for my little rebellion. She was the queen bee of Willow Creek, 60-something, peroxide blonde, with a smile sharp as barbed wire and a Bible quote for every grudge. Folks said she built the co-op from nothing after her husband ran off with a waitress from Missoula, but I knew better. Karen's empire was fueled by control, the kind that smothered anything that didn't fit her narrow vision of family values. And me? I was the glitter bomb in her picket fence parade. That morning started like any other, dew-kissed and deceptive. I unlocked the shop at 7, the bell jingling like a hesitant laugh. The air smelled of fresh ground beans and the faint must of old pages. I flipped the sign to open and started unpacking the few crates I'd managed to haul in myself, mostly straight-laced bestsellers to pay the bills. But the real shipment, the one with the queer lit that made my heart swell, James Baldwin, Audre Lorde, the new graphic novel about 2 boys finding home in each other's arms, that was supposed to arrive today. Straight from Billings, via Karen's co-op. By noon, the place was buzzing. Old Mrs. Hargrove shuffled in for her Harlequin romance, her arthritic fingers tracing the spines like Braille. Then came the kids from the high school, sneaking glances at the LGBTQ+ section I'd tucked in the back, their eyes wide with that mix of fear and fire I remembered all too well. "You got that book about the trans wizard yet, Mr. Hale?" one asked, a lanky freshman with purple-streaked hair. I grinned, ruffling his hoodie. "Next week, kid. Promise." But as the clock ticked past 2, doubt gnawed at me. I called the co-op, heart pounding like a bass drum. Karen picked up on the 3rd ring, her voice syrupy sweet. "Whitaker Co-op. How can I bless you today? It's Josh Hale." The delivery, "It's late." A pause, heavy as lead. Then, that laugh, low and mocking. "Oh, Joshua. Sweet boy. I was just about to call. See, we had a little issue with your order." Some of those titles? Well, they don't align with our community standards. Cancelled it myself. You'll get a refund, of course. Minus processing. My mouth went dry, the words sticking like burrs. You can't do that, Karen. That's my stock. My business. Your business, she interrupted, is peddling smut to impressionable kids in God's country. Willow Creek's got standards, Joshua. Standards you left behind when you ran off to that San Francisco den of sin. Don't make me involve the council. The line went dead, and I stood there, phone limp in my hand, the world narrowing to the hum of the fridge. San Francisco. She'd thrown it like a grenade, dredging up the years I'd spent there after high school, chasing art degrees and anonymous hookups in the Castro, fleeing the suffocating whispers of small-town judgment. I come back when Dad's cancer won, to bury him and sell the ranch, but Willow Creek had claws. Pulled you under, dressed up the drownings as baptisms. I stepped outside, needing air that didn't taste like defeat. The sun baked the sidewalk, heat waves dancing off the pickup trucks parked crooked along the curb. That's when I saw the sheriff's cruiser idling across the street, dust settling around its tires. And him, Tyler Whitaker, leaning against the hood, arms crossed over that broad chest, his uniform shirt straining just enough to remind me of the boy he'd been. Tyler. God, Tyler. We were thick as thieves at 15, climbing the old water tower to smoke stolen Marlboros, racing bikes down dirt roads until our lungs burned, sharing secrets under the stars that felt bigger than the whole damn universe. He was the golden boy quarterback, valedictorian, the one who made my stomach flip when he'd sling an arm around my shoulders and call me "Hail" like it was a prayer. But senior year, things shifted. Stolen glances turned to something electric, forbidden. One night, behind the bleachers after homecoming, his lips brushed mine, tentative, tasting of cheap beer and possibility. We never spoke of it again. He went to Bozeman on a football scholarship. I bolted west. 10 years, and here he was, back too, wearing his daddy's old badge like a crown of thorns. He spotted me, pushed off the cruiser with that easy grace that used to make my knees weak. Josh Hale. Been a minute. His voice was gravel and honey, hazel eyes crinkling at the corners. Close. He hadn't changed much, taller, sure, filled out from ranch work and patrols, but that crooked smile was the same, the one that said he saw through your bullshit. Tyler. Deputy Whitaker now? World really is ending. I forced a laugh, but it cracked, and his brow furrowed. You look like hell. What's eating you? I waved it off, but the words tumbled out anyway. The co-op, Karen, the cancelled order. His face darkened as I spoke, jaw tightening like a coiled spring. Ma did what? Shit. Josh. I'm sorry. She's got her ways. Ways, I echoed, heat rising in my chest. This isn't some bake sale spat, Ty. This is my livelihood. Those books, they matter. To me, to the kids here who think they're alone. He nodded, slow, rubbing the back of his neck, a tell I'd forgotten, the one that meant he was wrestling demons. I know. Look, come by the station later. I'll talk to her. Straighten it out. But as he climbed back into the cruiser, radio crackling with some mundane call, I wondered if he could. Tyler Whitaker, son of the Queen Bee, caught between blood and whatever ghost of us still lingered. That night, Alone in my apartment above the shop, I poured a whiskey and stared at the ceiling, the weight of unspoken truths pressing down. Little did I know, Karen's cancellation was just the first shot in a war that would rip open old wounds and forge something unbreakable, or shatter us for good. The days blurred into a haze of defiance. I drove to Billings myself the next morning, loading my truck with every title I could afford, credit card maxed and pride dented. Back in Willow Creek, I restocked the shelves under the glare of curious eyes, neighbors who'd heard the whispers, the church ladies clutching their pearls a little tighter. Business dipped, sure, but the kids kept coming, drawn like moths to the flame of representation. One evening, a shy sophomore named Eli lingered after closing, clutching Simon versus the Homo sapiens agenda. Mr. Hale, does it get better? Like, really? I knelt to his level, heart aching. Kid, it gets messy. But yeah, it gets better. You find your people. He hugged the book to his chest and fled into the twilight, leaving me with a fierce resolve. Screw Karen. I'd fight for this, for them. Tyler showed up that Friday, off-duty in jeans and a faded MSU hoodie, bearing takeout from the diner, bison burgers and fries greasy enough to soothe the soul. We ate on the shop's back porch, the valley unfolding below us like a rumpled quilt. Conversation flowed easy at first, Bozeman stories, his knee injury that ended the pro dreams, my San Fran escapades scrubbed clean for polite company. But the air thickened with what we didn't say. You ever think about that night? He asked finally, voice low, eyes on the horizon. Which one, the bleachers, or the time we stole Old Man Jenkins' tractor? He chuckled, but it faded quick. The kiss, Josh. I think about it. A lot, my fork stilled. Me too. But you had a life to build. Girlfriend, badge, the whole script. Script, he repeated, bitter. Ma wrote most of it. Pa left when I was 10, and she clung. Said men like him were weak, that family was duty. I bought it. Until I came home last year, saw you here, waving that flag like a dare. I met his gaze, the pull magnetic. And now, he leaned in, breath warm against my cheek. Now I want to rewrite it. Our lips met then, slow and searching, 10 years melting into the taste of salt and regret. His hand cupped my jaw, thumb tracing the line of my scar, the one from a bar fight in the Tenderloin, and I felt whole for the first time since burying Dad. We broke apart gasping, foreheads pressed together. Ty, you're Ma. Fuck Ma, he whispered, fierce. This is us. But as his taillights faded down the dirt road, doubt crept in. Karen Whitaker didn't lose wars. She scorched the earth. And I was just a bookseller with a heart full of stories she deemed dangerous. Sunday brunch at the Whitaker Ranch was a ritual as old as the Rockies, ham and eggs, fresh biscuits, and Karen holding court like a Southern belle in exile. Tyler dreaded it more with each passing week. The dining room a minefield of passive-aggressive barbs and unspoken expectations. This time, though, he carried a secret that burned hotter than the coffee. Joshua. The kiss replayed in his mind like a forbidden reel, the softness of Josh's mouth, the way his fingers tangled in Tyler's hair, pulling him closer to a truth they'd both buried deep. Pass the jam. Tyler James. Karen snapped, her fork clinking against porcelain. She was dressed for church already, floral skirt starched stiff, cross necklace glinting like a warning. The ranch house smelled of pine cleaner and resentment, every surface polished to a sheen that hid the cracks. He slid the jar over, avoiding her eyes. "Ma, about the co-op. That thing with Josh Hale's order." Her head snapped up, blue eyes narrowing to slits. "Don't you ma me about that deviant. Cancelled it clean. Town's better for it. He's not a deviant. He's a friend. And it's his business." "Business?" She laughed, sharp as shattered glass. "Peddling perversion to our youth? I saw the list. Books about boys loving boys, girls chopping off what God gave him. Willow Creek raised you better than to defend that filth." Tyler gripped his napkin, knuckles whitening. "Raised him better." That's what she'd always said. After Pa split, after the divorce papers hit like buckshot, after Tyler came home from college with a ring from a sorority girl he barely knew. Better meant straight, successful, silent. He'd played the part, dating Emily from the bank until she left for Denver, tired of his half-hearted kisses. But Josh had always been the what if, the road not taken. "He's good people, Ma. Gave those books to kids who need 'em. Like Eli from down the road, kids struggling." Karen's face twisted, a storm brewing. "Eli? That boy's father is on the council. If Joshua's filling his head with lies, it's not lies. It's life." The words escaped before he could cage them, hanging heavy in the air. Her fork dropped, the clatter echoing like a gavel. "You sound like him. Your father. Weak." Spinning tales to justify his wandering eye. She rose, chair scraping. "I built this family from nothing. The co-op, this ranch for you. Don't throw it away on some prodigal sodomite who crawled back from Sodom." Tyler's chest tightened, anger coiling like barbed wire. "Josh isn't. Enough." She slammed her hand on the table, jam jars rattling. "You stay away, Tyler James. Or so help me, you'll regret it." He left without finishing his eggs, the screen door banging behind him like a punctuation mark. The drive to the open page was muscle memory, the valley blurring past in greens and golds. Josh was behind the counter when he arrived, sorting invoices with that focused frown that made Tyler's pulse stutter. The shop was quiet, sunlight slanting through the windows to gild the spines. "Ty, everything okay?" Josh looked up, concern etching his features. Tyler locked the door, flipped the sign to closed. "No. Maz. She's digging in. But I'm not backing down." Josh's laugh was wry, but his eyes softened. Famous last words in this town. They ended up in the back room, a cramped office stacked with boxes and the faint scent of vanilla from Josh's candle obsession. Tyler pulled him close, kissing him with the urgency of a man confessing sins. Hands roamed, chaste, but charged, mapping collarbones and the dip of waists. Relearning contours time had softened. "I meant it," Tyler murmured against Josh's neck. "Us. For real." Josh pulled back, searching his face. "Your ma finds out. She'll bury me. The co-op's just the start. Let her try." Tyler's voice was steel, but inside, fear gnawed. Karen didn't just fight. She maneuvered, whispering to the council, the church, the sheriff himself, Tyler's boss, who owed her for half the department's holiday hams. That week, the sabotage escalated. First, it was the flyers, anonymous sheets plastered on telephone poles, decrying the open page as a gateway to moral decay. complete with Bible verses and a cartoon of a rainbow flag morphing into flames. Then, complaints rolled in, parents pulling kids, a rock through the window that shattered the LGBTQ+ display, glass glittering like cruel confetti on the floor. Tyler patrolled harder, his cruiser a constant shadow outside the shop. Nights, they'd steal moments, walks along the creek, where willows whispered secrets, drives up to the pass, windows down, radio crooning Johnny Cash ballads. Josh opened up about San Fran, the parties that felt like armor, the lovers who came and went like fog. "I thought I'd outrun it here," he admitted one evening, head on Tyler's shoulder as stars pricked the velvet sky. The hiding. But Willow Creek's got its own closets. Tyler traced patterns on Josh's arm, heart aching. "Not anymore. Not with me. But lies have long shadows." Emily, Tyler's ex, cornered him at the diner midweek, her curls pinned back, eyes sharp. "Saw you leaving Josh's place last night. Ty. Late. Real late." "It's not. Save it." Karen's asking questions. "Says you're slipping. Defending that shop." She sipped her coffee, casual as a knife twist. "Town talks. Always has." He brushed it off. But the seed was planted. That night, as he and Josh shared takeout on the porch, pad thai from the one Thai place in Missoula, Tyler's phone buzzed. A text from Ma, "Council meeting tomorrow. Your input required. Don't disappoint." The meeting was in the community hall, folding chairs arranged in a circle like a firing squad. The council, 5 gray-haired pillars of piety, sat stone-faced as Karen presented her case. Zoning violations, inappropriate content, endangering youth. "The open page isn't a business," she declared, voice quivering with righteous fury. "It's a threat." Tyler, in uniform, felt the room's eyes on him. Sheriff Harlan, his grizzled mentor, cleared his throat. "Deputy Whitaker? Thoughts?" He stood, pulse thundering. "It's a bookstore, folks. Sells books. Same as the library down the block." Josh Hales paid his dues, taxes, community events. "This smells like bullying." Murmurs rippled. Karen's gaze bored into him, betrayal flashing like lightning. "Tyler, he's right," Harlan grunted, surprising everyone. "No cause for shutdown. But let's keep it civil, Karen. Co-op's got enough on its plate without vendettas." She stormed out, the door slamming like thunder. Tyler found Josh later, pacing the shop, a fresh cut on his palm from sweeping glass. "Heard about the meeting. You stuck your neck out. Worth it." Tyler bandaged the wound, fingers lingering. But as they kissed, slow and deep, a siren wailed distant. Another call, another reminder of the worlds pulling them apart. Friday brought the storm. Tyler's shift ended early. He headed to the ranch for a truce talk. But Ma was waiting, eyes red-rimmed, a manila folder in her lap. "Sit. What now?" She slid the folder across. Photos grainy, but unmistakable, him and Josh, tangled on the porch, lips locked. "Stolen by whom? Emily? A busybody neighbor? I raised you to honor your father before he shamed us. Not this. Ma, this ends. Or the co-op pulls funding from the department. Harlan listens to me. Blackmail." Tyler's world tilted. "You'd hurt the town? For what?" "For you. To save you." Her voice cracked, the mask slipping. For the first time, he saw the woman beneath, the scared girl left with a boy and a broken heart. He left without a word, driving to Josh's in the pouring rain. They made love, not frantic, but tender, bodies speaking what words couldn't, promises etched in skin. Afterward, curled together, Tyler confessed the photos, the threat. Josh's face paled. We fight or we fold? Fight. But dawn brought doubt, the rain washing away illusions. Karen's war wasn't just against Josh. It was against the son she'd lose if he chose truth. The rain had turned the valley into a watercolor smear, mud sucking at tires and tempers alike. Joshua stared at the ceiling of his apartment, Tyler's arm heavy across his waist, the steady rhythm of his breathing a fragile lullaby. Dawn crept in gray and unforgiving, illuminating the photos Tyler had burned in the sink the night before, ashes swirling down the drain like aborted confessions. We can't hide forever, Josh whispered, tracing the freckles on Tyler's shoulder. Tyler stirred, hazel eyes bleary but resolute. We won't. But Ma. She's cornered. Desperate. Desperation in Karen Whitaker was a wildfire. Unpredictable. Consuming. By noon, the blaze ignited. Josh opened the shop to find the parking lot cordoned off with yellow tape, a county truck idling beside a crew in hard hats. What's this? He demanded of the foreman, a burly guy named Chet who'd bought mystery novels from him last month. Zoning inspection. Urgent. Ma'am Whitaker filed the complaint. Says your building's a fire hazard. Unstable foundation. Electrical issues. Got orders to shut her down till cleared. Josh's stomach plummeted. The foundation was solid as the Rockies. He'd sunk his inheritance into renovations. This was sabotage, pure and petty. Chet, come on. You know that's bullshit. The man shrugged, apologetic. Council's orders. Josh. Nothing personal. Everything was personal. He called Tyler, voice tight. Your ma's escalating. Shops taped off. On my way. Tyler arrived in minutes. Uniform rumpled, jaw set. He bullied past the tape, badge flashing, and cornered Chet. This inspection, scheduled how long? Emergency filing. Yesterday. By whom? Chet glanced away. Anonymous tip. But Karen pushed it through. Tyler cursed under his breath, pulling Josh aside. Harlan's in her pocket. I need proof. Something to tie her to the fraud. Proof meant digging, and digging in Willow Creek unearthed skeletons. That afternoon, they met at the creek. Tyler's old Ford hidden under willows, engine ticking cool. While Josh sketched plans for a pop-up book fair in the park, Tyler scrolled through co-op records on his laptop, borrowed from the station. Here, delivery logs. Your order was flagged, non-compliant, 2 weeks ago. Signed by her. Not enough, Josh said, frustration bubbling. Need intent. Malice. Tyler closed the laptop, pulling Josh into a kiss that tasted of river mist and urgency. We'll get it. Together. But togetherness was a luxury. That evening, Eli burst into the shop, tape be damned, eyes wild. Mister. Hale, they took my book. Dad found it, burned it in the barrel. Said if I go near your store again, he'll send me to conversion camp. Josh knelt, heart shattering. Eli, listen, your dad's scared. Of what he doesn't understand. But burning books? That's weakness. Not strength. The boy sniffled, clutching a crumpled note. Found this in my locker. From Coach Ramsey. Josh unfolded it. Stay away from Hale's poison, or you're off the team. Ramsey, Karen's brother, high school coach with a grudge longer than the football field. Tyler arrived as Eli left, face thunderous. Ramsey? That son of a family network, Josh finished, weary. They're circling. The circling tightened that night. Tyler's phone rang during their makeshift dinner, canned soup on the fire escape. It was Harlan. Whitaker, stand down on the co-op beef. Mayor's leaning on me. Your ma's got pull. Tyler hung up, slamming his fist into the railing. It's betrayal, Josh. From all sides, betrayal. The word hung, evoking Tyler's confession earlier, how he'd dated Emily to appease Karen, how he'd looked the other way on small-town hypocrisies to keep peace. I was a coward, he'd admitted, voice raw. Hiding behind the badge, Josh had forgiven, but scars lingered. Now, as rain pattered the tin roof, he voiced the fear gnawing him. What if you have to choose, her or me? Tyler's grip tightened. You. Always. Lies, though, have momentum. Monday brought the council's hearing. A kangaroo court in the VFW hall, flags drooping in the humidity. Karen testified first. Perched like a hawk, Joshua Hale's establishment promotes lifestyles contrary to our values. The inspection proves negligence. Closure protects our children. Murmurs of agreement rippled. Old-timers nodding. A few progressives shifting uncomfortably. Then Tyler took the stand. Uniform crisp. Voice steady. Inspections bogus. I reviewed the reports, buildings compliant. This is harassment. Plain. Anti-discrimination laws apply. Even here, gasps echoed. Harlan glowered from the front row. Karen's face drained of color. Tyler James, you side with right, he cut in. With a man-building community, not tearing it down. The vote was close, closure tabled for 30 days. Victory, bittersweet. Outside, Karen waited, rain sheeting off her umbrella. Proud of you, son, betraying your blood for a phase. It's not a phase, Ma. It's me. She slapped him, crack echoing like gunfire. Then you're dead to me. Tyler reeled, cheek blooming red. Josh pulled him away, into the truck, driving blind through the downpour. At the shop, they collapsed on the couch. Tyler's sobs muffled against Josh's shirt. She hates me. For loving you. Josh held him, rocking gently. She hates the mirror. What you see in me, freedom, she can't face in herself. Healing began in fragments. Mornings tangled in sheets. Tyler's laughter echoing as Josh read aloud from Giovanni's room. Voice weaving Baldwin's prose into their reality. Afternoons, they rallied allies, Mrs. Hargrove baking pies for a support the page petition. Eli's dad, shamed by his son's tears, signing on. But Karen countered. Whispers spread, Tyler's questionable loyalties at the station. Josh's agenda poisoning the youth. Then, the betrayal struck deepest. Emily, Tyler's ex, leaked an old photo. Not the porch kiss, but one from Bozeman. Tyler at a frat party. Arm around a guy. Both laughing. Drunk on freedom. Anonymous email to the sheriff. CC to the council. Headline. Deputies double life? Harlan called Tyler in at dawn. Suspend you pending review. Can't have scandal. Tyler's world imploded. Job gone. Badge stripped, the armor he'd worn like chains. He drove to Josh's, hollow-eyed. It's over. Everything. Josh pulled him inside, but the kiss tasted of ash. Not us. Fight this. Tyler nodded, but doubt festered. That night, alone while Josh slept, he stared at his phone, Karen's number glowing. One call, and peace. But peace meant prison. Dawn broke with a knock. Harlan, coffee in hand. Photos fake context. Frat stunt. But optics. Stay low. Reinstatement. Tentative. Tyler exhaled, collapsing into Josh's arms. Close call. Too close. As they lay there, Josh whispered, "Promise me no more hiding." Promise. But promises bend under pressure. The 30 days ticked down. Karen's silence a gathering storm. Josh felt it, the fracture lines in their fragile front. Love was a bridge, but Willow Creek's winds howled fierce. The suspension's shadow lingered like smoke from a brush fire, tainting every patrol Tyler took, every glance from the station's bullpen. Harlan had reinstated him quietly. "Keep your head down, Whitaker." But the whispers followed, "Turncoat." Soft. Tyler buried it in work, pulling double shifts along the res roads, where meth labs flickered like will-o'-the-wisps and domestic calls ended in tears. It kept him from the ranch, from Ma's ghost haunting the empty kitchen. Josh, meanwhile, turned the open page into a fortress of solidarity. The pop-up fair in the park drew 50 souls that Saturday. Rain held off. Sun gilding the blankets spread with titles from Heartstopper to Red, White and Royal Blue. Eli manned the YA table, braces flashing in a grin that defied his father's scowls. Mrs. Hargrove hawked cookies, proceeds to shop defense. Even Chet the foreman showed, buying a dog-eared Pride and Prejudice with a sheepish wink. Tyler watched from his cruiser, parked discreet. Pride swelled, hot and unfamiliar. This was Josh's magic, turning outcasts into a choir. But as the crowd thinned, Karen appeared at the edge, arms crossed, face a mask of granite. She didn't approach, just stared, daggers aimed at the rainbow banners fluttering like defiant prayers. "See her," Josh murmured later, packing boxes in the truck bed. Twilight painted the valley lavender, crickets tuning up their symphony. Tyler nodded, throat tight. Hate in the flesh. No. Fear. Josh's hand found his, squeezing. "She's losing you." That terrifies her. They drove to the pass. Windows down. The air crisp with pine and possibility. Parking at the overlook. They talked, not of wars, but wonders. Josh shared dreams of expanding the shop. Author readings. A teen writing group. Tyler confessed his own buried sketch, quitting the badge someday, opening a guiding service for the rivers, teaching kids to fly fish without the weight of judgment. "Us against the world," Tyler said, pulling Josh close. Their kisses deepened, hands exploring with the reverence of rediscovery, fingers interlacing, breaths sinking to the river's rush below. No rush, no desperation, just the quiet burn of souls aligning. But idols shatter. Monday, the co-op delivery, neutral stock, no queer lit, arrived shorted, half the crates missing, invoices marked, lost in transit. Karen's signature, bold as brass. Josh confronted her that afternoon, storming the co-op's office, bell jangling like alarm. You shorted me. Again. She didn't look up from her ledger. Pen scratching steady. Inventory error. File a claim. Bullshit. This is retaliation. Her eyes lifted, cold as January. Retaliation? For poisoning my son? You took him, Joshua. My boy straight A, God-fearing, now sneaking around like some back-alley sinner. Josh leaned on the desk, voice low. Tyler chose himself. Finally. You can't cage love. Love. She spat the word, rising. That's lust dressed pretty. I know your kind, lure him in. Leave wreckage. Like his pa, the comparison stung. Unbidden sympathy flickering. Karen's marriage had imploded publicly. Pa's affair the town's favorite scandal. I'm not him. And Tyler's not you. Clinging to pain like a lifeline. She flinched, but recovered swift. Out. Or I call security. He left, but the barb lodged deep. That evening, over meatloaf at the diner Neutral Ground, Josh related to Tyler. She equates us to your dad's betrayal. Does not hate, Ty. It's hurt. Tyler's fork paused midair. Doesn't excuse it. No. But understanding might save us all. Save us. The phrase echoed as they parted, Tyler's shift calling. Alone, Josh pored over logs. Patterns emerging. Shortages timed to counsel whispers. Errors aligning with Karen's allies. Proof. Tantalizingly close. Midweek. The fracture widened. Tyler's radio crackled during lunch. 10 to 54 at Whitaker Ranch. Domestic. Heart seizing. He floored it. Siren wailing. The ranch loomed. Porch light haloed in dusk. Inside. Chaos. Karen on the floor. Cheek bruised. Clutching a broken vase. He came at me. Tyler. Your father. Showed up drunk. Ranting about old times. Pa. Tyler hadn't seen him in 15 years. Not since the night he punched a wall and vanished. Now, here reeking of whiskey, eyes wild. Son. Heard about your trouble. Ma's lies. Out. Tyler hauled him to the door, muscles straining. Karen sobbed behind, a performance Oscar-worthy. As Pa's truck peeled away, Tyler knelt, inspecting the injury. Minimal swelling, vase shard. Self-inflicted, doubt gnawed. Ma. What really? She called you. Good. Now see why we fight. Sinners breed chaos. He left her tears unsoothed, driving to Josh's in turmoil. Pa's back. Stirring shit. Josh listened, arms enveloping. Use it. Press charges? Force her hand. Tyler shook his head. Family. Can't. The can't became a chasm. Days later, Eli's dad, emboldened by Karen's sermons, filed a formal complaint. Indecent exposure via the shop's window display. An innocuous poster of two men holding hands. Council reconvened. Closure looming. Tyler testified again. Voice cracking. It's a poster. Expression. First Amendment. Folks. Karen countered. Protection of minors. The tiebreaker. Harlan. Pressured. 30 days extended. But Hale. Tone it down. Defeat. Dressed as mercy. Josh smashed a mug that night. Shards flying. Tone it down? Like me. Tyler held him through the rage. But his own simmered. Will appeal. Get a lawyer from Missoula. Lawyer meant money, Josh's dwindling, Tyler's savings earmarked for that guiding dream. Desperation bred recklessness. Friday, Tyler confronted Pa in a Missoula dive, fists clenched. Stay gone. Or I arrest you, Pa laughed, slurring. Like your ma? She forged those inspections. Boy. Pays Chet under table. Wanted you scared straight. The revelation hit like a gut punch. Tyler recorded it. Sloppy. Phone hidden, then fled. Bile rising. Back in Willow Creek. He played it for Josh. Voice trembling. Proof. Forgery. We got her. Josh's eyes lit. Blackmail? No leverage. Demand she back off. Tyler hesitated. Family. Us is family now. The call to Karen was midnight. Speaker on. Tyler's words steal. The tape. Pa spilled. Drop the vendetta, or it goes to Harlan. Silence. Then a hiss. You'd destroy me? For him. For truth. Her laugh was hollow. Truth? You're my blood. Was. Now. Choose. Stop. Or lose everything. Click. Dawn brought tentative peace. No tape on the shop. Deliveries resuming. Karen's silence. A white flag. Illusion. Saturday. The betrayal crested. Tyler's phone buzzed during their hike. Harlan. Ranch. Now. Shooting reported. They arrived to horror. Karen. Slumped against the barn. Blood pooling from a graze on her arm. Pa's truck smoldered nearby. Torched. He shot me, she wailed. Eyes locking on Tyler. After you threatened because of you and that. That hail. Ambulance wailed. Statements taken. Pa fled. Fugitive. Tyler. Cuffed for interference. Harlan's doing. Spent the night in holding. Josh bailing him out at dawn. Eyes haunted. She said it, Tyler whispered in the truck. Staged. To frame us. Josh nodded. Fierce. We end this. Together. But together meant war's endgame. And Willow Creek's battlefields left no victors unscathed. The graze on Karen's arm was superficial, a nick from a .22. Doctors said, but the wound to the town ran deep. Willow Creek buzzed with scandal. Whitaker feud turns deadly, splashed across the Gazette's front page. Complete with a grainy photo of the ranch. Caution tape fluttering like funeral ribbons. Tyler's suspension was permanent this time. Badge surrendered in Harlan's office amid accusations of bias and enabling. He moved his duffel to Josh's apartment that day. The click of the lock, a vow and a cage. Refugee status, Tyler joked, unpacking jeans and flannel into the cramped closet. But his eyes were hollow, the deputy's swagger stripped to bone. Josh cooked, chili from a kit, steam rising like unspoken fears. We'll fight the frame. Pa's ghosting. But that tape, Ma destroyed it. Or hid it. Tyler stirred his bowl. Appetite fled. She's cornered. Josh. Animals bite. Bite she did. Monday. The council voted. The open page shuttered indefinitely. Pending investigation into Hale's role in domestic disturbances. Flyers blanketed Main Street. Protect our town. Boycott the poison page. Business evaporated. Eli stopped coming. His locker vandalized with slurs. Josh pounded pavement. Knocking on doors, Mrs. Hargrove's. The diners. Even Chet's trailer. This isn't Willow Creek, he pleaded. It's McCarthyism with pitchforks. Some nodded. Signing petitions. Others slammed doors. fear trumping friendship. Nights, he collapsed into Tyler's arms, exhaustion a lover's thief. I came back to heal, not bleed. Tyler held him tighter, kisses a bomb. We leave. Start over. Billings, Bozeman, anywhere, but roots ran deep. Tyler's morning runs took him past the ranch. Glimpses of Karen's silhouette in the window, gaunt, pacing. Guilt gnawed. Her bruise, self-inflicted or not, echoed his own fractures. One dusk, he drove up unannounced, gravel crunching under tires. She met him on the porch, shotgun propped casual against the rail, safety on, but message clear. Come to gloat, to talk. Like humans. Her laugh cracked. Humans don't betray. You did first. He played his ace, not the destroyed tape, but a station backup. Audio from Pa's arrest years back, slurring admissions of Karen's fudges on co-op books. Forgery's a felony. Drop the charges. The shutdown or its surfaces. She sagged. Shotgun clattering. Why? For him. For us. The family you could have had. Tears tracked her powder. I lost your pa to weakness. Swore I'd steel you against it. But you're happy. Glowing. Like he never was. The confession hung. A bridge's first plank. Let me love you too. And Josh. She nodded. Once. Go. Before I change mind. Truce teetered. Tuesday. Harlan called. Charges dropped. Pa's in Wyoming. Spilling to feds. Your ma's talking co-op audits incoming. Relief flooded. But high tides recede. That afternoon, Emily waited at the shop, now half empty. Dust motes dancing in sunbeams. Heard the drama. Tyler deserves better than this circus. Josh stiffened. Better? Like you? Playing whisperer. She flushed. I leaked the photo. For him to wake up. But Karen. She twisted it. Used me. Betrayal's echo. Why tell me? Guilt. And congrats. You too? Endgame. She left a flash drive emails. Karen's directives to Chet. Ramsey. Gold. Josh forwarded to a Missoula attorney. Pro bono for the cause. Crescendo built swift. Thursday. The hearing. Packed hall. Air thick with sweat and scripture. Karen testified. Voice quavering. I overstepped. Fear made me cruel. But Willow Creek's better with voices like Joshua's. Reopen the shop. Gasped. Tyler, in the back, met her eyes, forgiveness flickering. Harlan grumbled assent. Vote unanimous. Open, with protections. Cheers erupted, but Josh felt hollow. Victory tasted of ashes when built on a mother's ruin. Outside, Karen approached, tentative. Coffee? Truce. The diner was neutral, booths scarred by decades of confessions. Over black brew, she spoke, of Pa's charm curdling to cruelty, of raising Tyler alone, terror of loss. Thought control kept safe. Lost more. Josh listened, hand over hers. Let go. Love's not loss. Tyler joined later, the trio awkward but thawing. Laughter crept in. Stories of Tyler's toddler tantrums. Josh's city mishaps. Dawn of something human. But storms circle. Friday night. Sirens pierced the quiet. Fire at the ranch. Tyler and Josh arrived to Inferno. Barn engulfed. Horses stampeding. Karen safe, but hysterical. Pa! He called, swore revenge. Feds traced it. Pa! High on spite, torched and fled. But in the chaos, a spark jumped, the shop's roof, embers carried on wind. By morning, the open page smoldered, walls charred, shelves ash. Josh stood amid ruins, soot-streaked, tears carving tracks. Everything gone. Tyler enveloped him, Harlan barking orders behind. Not everything. Rebuild. Karen hovered, wringing hands. My fault. All. No, Josh said, voice breaking. Pause. And hours to fix. Community rallied. Chet hauling beams. Eli's dad donating lumber. Mrs. Hargrove's cookies fueling crews. Tyler coordinated. Deputy reinstated amid the blaze's glow, heroes return. Karen worked beside. Calluses forming on manicured hands. Rebirth took weeks. Fundraisers. GoFundMe miracles. Opening day dawned crisp. October gold. Ribbons cut. Books unpacked, new titles gleaming. Eli hugged Josh, whispering, told you it gets better. As dusk fell, Tyler pulled Josh to the back room, door clicking shut. Proud of you. Of us. Their kiss sealed it, deep, anchoring. But Karen's shadow loomed, redemption unfinished. Climax crashed that eve. Pa captured in Casper, ranting to interrogators. Karen framed herself to guilt the boy, keep him from the fag. Tape leaked. Anonymous. Viral. Willow Creek reeled. Audits hit the co-op. Karen indicted for fraud. Fine $10,000. Restitution to suppliers, including Josh. Sheriff Harlan delivered the check personally. Gruff. Justice. Whitaker. About time. Karen faced it stoic. Plea deal sparing jail. Last night, she visited the shop. Eyes clear. I'm leaving. Bozeman therapy. Fresh start. For me. Tyler hugged her. Tears silent. Come back. When ready. She nodded. Then to Josh. Sorry. Truly. Forgiven, he said. Go heal. Alone. Tyler and Josh locked up. Valley stars winking approval. By kitsch or happy? Tyler teased. Arms slung casual. Josh smiled, leaning in. Human. Best kind. Winter settled on the Bitterroot like a benediction. Snow blanketing the valley in hush-white forgiveness. The open page rose phoenix strong. Beams reinforced. Shelves doubled. A cozy reading nook by the wood stove where locals gathered for cocoa and confessions. Josh manned the counter. Flannel dusted with glitter from holiday displays. A very queer Christmas. He titled it, Drawing Smirks and Sales Alike. Eli volunteered weekends. Braces swapped for a confident grin. His coming-out essay winning the school's lit prize. Tyler patrolled with renewed fire. Harlan's grumbles softened to mentorship. Nights off. He traded the badge for rod and reel, guiding novices down the creek. Kids like Eli learning casts that arced graceful as hope. It's about the weight, he'd say. Voice steady. The pull when it comes. The pull. There's deepened in quiet rhythms. Mornings tangled in quilts. Coffee brewing as Josh read poetry, Whitman, fierce and free. Afternoons. Walks to the overlook. Hands laced against the chill. Tyler opened up scars. The badge's weight. Ma's echoes. Thought duty defined me. You showed different. Josh traced his jaw. Love redefines. Karen's absence ached. A phantom limb. Letters came sporadic, Bozeman address. Therapy notes veiled in humor. Learned to knit. Scarves beat shotguns. Tyler replied volumes. Forgiveness woven word by word. Christmas. She arrived unannounced. Wool coat dusted. Pie in hand, apple. Lattice perfect. The shop twinkled. Rainbow lights pulsing soft. Mary, she said. Awkward. Eyes on the LGBTQ+ shelf, now front and center. Mary. Josh accepted the pie. Tension thawing. They talked her group. Pa's trial, probation. Wyoming exile. Willow Creek's slow shift. You rebuilt, she marveled. Stronger. Community did. A pause. Join us? Dinner. She did. The apartment overflowed. Turkey from the diner. Eli and family crammed on the couch. Harlan nursing eggnog. Toasts rang to second chances, to pages unturned. Karen raised her glass. Voice soft, to family. Messy, but mine. After, Tyler walked her to the truck. Snow falling gentle. Stay the night, she shook head, smiling faint. Road calls. But soon, he watched taillights fade, then turned to Josh, waiting on the stoop. Hole, Tyler whispered, pulling him close. Snowflakes caught in lashes, kisses warm against frost. Spring unfurled green and insistent, melting doubts. The shop thrived. Author visit from a Missoula poet. Teen zine launch. Even a council grant for inclusive literacy. Josh's dream expanded. A tiny press. Chapbooks by local queer voices. Tyler's guiding biz launched Memorial Day. Waiters and wisdom drawing crowds. One eve. Post float. He proposed not ring, but river stone. Smoothed by years. Marry me? Here. Where we started. Josh laughed. Tears pricking. Yes. All in. Wedding was valley simple. Creekside. Willows arching. Eli officiating with dramatic flair. Vows echoed. In storms and stars. I choose you. Karen came. Front row. Knitting paused. Pride in her eyes. Summer solstice. They honeymooned the pass. Tent pitched. Fire crackling. Stories swapped. Josh's San Fran ghosts laid. Tyler's badge balanced with heart. Love, they learned, wasn't conquest, surrender, sweet and shared. Fall brought harvest. Co-op audits closed. Karen's fine paid. Restitution flowing to causes. Youth shelter in Billings. Anti-hate workshops. She visited monthly. Scars fading to stories. One November dusk. As leaves burned crimson. Josh locked the shop. Tyler waiting in the truck. Adventure. Always. They drove to the old water tower. Climbing rusted rungs. Careful. Laughing. Summit view. Valley aglow. Lights winking like fireflies. Tyler pulled a flask, whiskey. Smooth. To hooks and homecomings. Josh clinked. Sipping. To us. Unbreakable. Below. Willow Creek slumbered. Not perfect, but progressing. Eli's first boyfriend. Hand in hand down Maine. Chet's rainbow bumper sticker. Defiant. Karen's pie at potlucks. Recipe shared. In the tower's shadow. They kissed. Deep. Eternal. No more hiding. Just horizon. Vast and kind. Years wove on. Shop a hub. Guiding trips legend. Eli graduated. Off to college with a scholarship and Josh's inscribed Baldwin. Karen remarried, quiet judge, mutual mending. Tyler and Josh adopted a rescue mutt, named Whitman, who chased willows with joy. On their 10th anniversary, back at the creek, Tyler carved initials in a stone. J&T, forever etched. Still pulling, Josh smiled, water lapping ankles. Stronger, humanity's arc bent gentle here. Not utopia, but enough. Love's quiet revolution. One page, one promise at a time. Epilogue whispered in wind. Willow Creek. Once cage, now cradle. Joshua Hale and Tyler Whitaker, architects of grace. Proof that even in America's heartland heartaches, redemption roots deep.